welcome to 7 Minutes of Science, your weekly high-speed rundown of the week's top science stories with me, your host, Eddie Edwards. So, without further ado, let's hit 7 minutes on the clock. I would point, but I overdid it on chest day, and I can't really get my arm any higher than that, because I'm an idiot. So, without further ado, let's have 7 minutes on the clock, and let's start in 3, 2, 1... We start off the week with news from Chiara Uglietti and Paolo Gabrielli that the human race has been polluting and ruining the planet for slightly longer than originally believed, by about 240 years. It was largely believed at one point that basically pollution and everything that came along with it was a product of the Industrial Revolution, but it seems about 240 years previous to that, South America became a major silver mining hub at that time due to the Spanish both raping the area for both resources and also, I think, just raping the people, because it was a horrible, horrible time to live in South America because of the Spanish. Yeah, this is really basically another terrible thing that the Spanish did in Latin America, and another terrible thing that the human race has done to the environment. So, kind of a double win in that respect. Basically, they've taken some ice cores from some glaciers. They found that there were chemicals in the air that were basically hook up with the smog that you find from silver production mining. So, it's just a thing that's been happening for quite a while, and we're terrible. So, there's that. If there's one thing you know about complicated geoscience, it's probably what you learnt in school, which is the picture of the Earth with all the circles and the different layers. Everybody knows that goes from yellow all the way to red. Well, time to get out another shade of orange pencil, because it turns out there's a second ball right in the middle of the middle ball. That middle section of the Earth is made up of iron crystals, all aligned like that. Turns out there's another lot in the middle going like that. These lot hook up with the magnetic field the way it currently is, north to south. These lot hook up with the magnetic field as it might once have been, left to right, a long, long time ago, back when the Earth was first forming. It's an intriguing notion, it's an intriguing idea, but at the same time, it's one of those crazy things that doesn't really do us a lot of good. It's interesting to know. It might give us a bit more information about the past, but is it groundbreaking? Is it changing the world? No. Cool thing about it, though, we know this because we can measure how the Earth, what the Earth is made of, because we listen to earthquakes as they send shockwaves back across through the middle of the Earth, which is pretty cool. So there is that. Just in case you didn't already hate wasps enough, here's a terrifying story about the parasitical wasp. Now, parasitical wasps exist all over the planet. They usually have a a parasitical relationship with a particular species, where they basically land, stick their eggs in the back of it, they grow, and then they burst out and the thing dies. But in the case of certain ladybirds, those bugs actually protect the eggs. Weird, isn't it? Some sort of chemical, one might think. No, it's a virus. They found the RNA of it. Yeah, that's right. Wasps, in secret, developed a zombifying virus. They have the T virus. Wasps are basically Umbrella from Resident Evil at this point. And I would also say, if you're going to make zombie games where you're going to try and pretend it's not zombieism, like, oh look, it's cordyceps fungus, then parasitical wasps turning people into, like, I mean, they're zombies and then they explode and they're filled with baby wasps. That would be awesome. But yeah, this has been done. There's been found RNA. It seems to suggest some sort of convergent evolution of the virus and the wasp, which is really weird and strange. Big shout out to Jaime E. Pineda and his team. Basically, they have found a quadruple star in the process of forming. Basically, these are proto-stars, probably around the sort of same size as a brown dwarf, which is a little bit bigger than Jupiter at this moment. They are still growing, still pulling in more material, and they will ignite into stars in the future. There are 4 of them together, so they will be forming a multiple star system, and we have never seen that. We have seen plenty of places in the galaxy where we can see stars forming, but multiple star systems are a little bit rarer, and having to catch them at the exact time when they're forming is a little bit more unlikely, so it's not something we've seen. But now we've seen this, it matches up with what we thought was going on. The models seem to match. A great bit of confirmation science means there's another field of area of science we can really stop having to investigate, take that as read, and use that as a basis for further advancement, which is really what the point of checking stuff is all about in science. First bit of news from the annual meeting of the American Association for the Advancement of Science, and that news is that Vint Cerf, probably the only guy from Google who wears a tie, is telling us that we are currently in the dark ages. What he means by that is that in the future, all of the information that we've got recorded about this period in history, every tweet from the last however many years, every photo, every cool and wonderful YouTube video with a very handsome host, might actually be lost because we're recording this stuff on things that hardware that's going out of date in formats that don't match up with stuff we're currently using, and it could lead to all of this data. We could potentially save it, but will we be able to read it? And he's warning against this, and I, for one, agree. The only reason I make these videos is because I was assuming this was going to last forever. I need a legacy, people. I can't do that without... Yeah, put your ideas up. But yeah, guy from Google is warning us that something terrible might be happening to our data. I suggest we listen. Let's take some moves and hopefully avoid this, because it seems like it would be terrible if that did happen. Who doesn't like fireworks? And I can tell you when the best damn fireworks show you could probably ever see is going to happen. You have to be here on Earth, looking up at the sky, in about 700 million years' time. I know, it's not useful information. What I'm talking about is the fact that there is a binary star. I'll just tell you where it is located. It is inside the Hines 2-428 Nebula, about 600 light years away in the constellation Aquila. It is a binary system that is in decay. Two large stars are going to smash into each other, increase their mass even bigger into one giant star that can't support its own weight and will collapse, supernova, and on Earth it will probably look like daylight at night. So if you are outside in 700 million years' time, that happens. Somebody asks what's going on, you can just go, oh, it's a supernova. It's cool, Eddie told me about this before. And if you are alive, then look me up, because I'm guessing we're both alive because of the singularity and we are now robots. But yeah, should be cool if you're around, which you won't be. And finally, an interesting story, another one from the annual meeting of the American Association for the Advancement of Science, which I'm just showing off because I remember the exact name of that thing, which I never normally do. SETI were there, and they say it's time to stop listening, time to start looking in proper. SETI, for those who don't know, is a search for extraterrestrial intelligence. They stick telescopes, point them at the sky, and hope that we can pick up some proof that there's alien life out there. They're saying that isn't enough anymore. We need to start broadcasting our signals. We need to start advertising. We need to say, hey, we're here. We want to be counted. Come check us out. Could be good, could be bad. Could get Vulcans, could get Borg. Or we could find weirder stuff than we could ever possibly imagine. Or, alternatively, we could find nothing, which would be terrifying. We're alone. But, yeah, interesting thoughts. I'd like to know your thoughts on this. Should we be trying to find aliens? Should we be trying to contact them? Is it too risky? Would it be cool? But I think it'd be cool. I think a lot of the ideas that we think about bad aliens are human ideas. So, under 7 minutes, I believe. Like I say, I can't really point more than that up there. Thank you very much for watching. As always, please do like the show if you like the show. If you think somebody else might like the show, share the show. Want to see more of what we're doing, hit the subscribe button. I can guarantee you that we have some extra videos going up this week because I've already edited one of them. That is the show Two Drunk Geeks, in which me and John attempt to watch the movie The Miami Connection, fail, and just talk about movies that are nominated for Oscars and how it's a travesty that Guardians of the Galaxy isn't up for Best Film. Because it should be. If you think you might like that, check out that show. There's another one that I am in the process of editing at the moment. I'm hoping to get up next week. It might be the week after, depending on how my scheduling works out. But, as always, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next week. And until then, good luck in your endeavours, if your endeavours be good. Goodbye.